The arrogance of invaders. The galaxy's greatest fleet drifted like a wall of night toward a small blue world. 500 warships, their hulls gleaming in the distant sun, formed a spear point that had broken a dozen empires and humbled twice as many. At the heart of this swarm, on the bridge of the dreadnought Dominion's fist, Commander Zexai stood with 4 arms crossed in perfect confidence. His race, the Kamor, had conquered 17 star systems. None had lasted more than a week. Earth hung quietly before them, clouds swirling over oceans, green continents glimmering in the dark. To Zexai, it looked defenseless, a primitive world ripe for conquest. His sub-commander, Velter, approached. Their transmissions show no panic. They know we're here, but haven't even tried to mobilize. Sensors show a few stations and mining. Sights nothing significant. Zexai scoffed. Primitive. I will give them one chance to surrender with dignity. He ordered the channel open, and his voice rolled across the stars. People of Earth, I am Commander Zexai of the Dominion. Collective. Your world is selected for incorporation into our empire. You have 1 hour to cease all resistance. Any attempt to flee or fight will result in the destruction of your cities. This is your only warning. The bridge fell silent. They expected either a desperate plea or panicked surrender. Instead, 30 minutes passed before a calm, measured voice replied, Commander Zexai, this is Admiral Sarachun of Earth Defense Command. We have received your message and appreciate your warning. However, we must decline your generous offer. For your own safety, we recommend you reverse course immediately. Laughter rippled through the Dominion's officers. A threat from primitives, one scoffed, but Velter frowned uneasy. That was unusually calm. Zexai waved her concerns away. We have 500 warships. What could they possibly do? The fleet pressed onward, crossing the orbit of Mars. Zexai prepared to bombard a few smaller cities, expecting fear. To break human resistance, begin charging the primary arrays. We will show them what real power looks like. But as the fleet closed in, sensors screamed. The empty void around Mars flickered and filled with energy. Dozens of massive structures, previously invisible, appeared battle stations, bristling with cannons and swirling with strange fields of energy. Cloaking technology far beyond anything the Dominion had seen. 50, no, 100 stations, shouted the sensor officer. All fully powered. They're everywhere. A second human message cut through the shock. Commander Zexai, the Mars defense grid is now fully operational. You have 30 seconds to retreat or we will consider you hostile and respond accordingly. Zexai's confidence faltered. Their intelligence had missed everything. As the timer ticked down, he realized with growing horror humans hadn't been caught off guard. They had been waiting. The Mars Gambit 6i barked frantic orders. Deploy all shields. Prepare to return fire. The Dominion fleet's formation broke as captains scrambled to bring their guns to bear. Across the system, the Mars defense grid pulsed with geometric patterns of pure energy. The human stations opened fire beams of light, waves of magnetism, and swarms of stealth drones. Dominion ships tried to retaliate, but their targeting systems scrambled. Their drives faltered. Within minutes, 3 destroyers were disabled, caught in localized gravity fields that bent space and twisted metal. Communications fizzled with static as electromagnetic pulses fried unshielded relays. On the bridge of the Archangel, Earth's flagship, Admiral Sarachun watched the displays with a grin set to her jaw. She nodded to her staff, all calm and focused. Hold fire. Disable. Don't destroy. Velter, watching from the Dominion's command deck, recognized the tactics for what they were restraint. The humans could have annihilated half the fleet already. Sir, they're ships. They're appearing behind us, yelled a Dominion tactical officer dot in the black between worlds. A new fleet materialized, dozens of human warships, bristling with strange weapons and alien design elements. Their hulls were patched with markings not only of Earth, but of other exiled and forgotten worlds. They closed in, cutting off any path of retreat. Panic spread. Zexai called for a new broadcast. Open. A channel. We wish to discuss terms. Chun's reply was swift, her tone steely. The only terms are your immediate withdrawal and reparations for all damage caused. We are not here to conquer. We are here to protect our home and the galaxy from further Dominion aggression. As the Dominion's flagship tried to power its jump drives, hidden human commando teams boarded the vessel. Captain David Reyes led the strike, moving with practiced precision and backed by both humans and alien allies. In the chaos, they disabled the Dreadnought's engines and seized the bridge. Vexai, now a prisoner in his own command chair, finally saw the truth. These were not the primitive humans of old. These were Deathworlders, survivors, warriors, thinkers, and now the galaxy's most dangerous force. Galactic desperation, with the Dominion fleet trapped and battered, the wider galaxy watched in shock. News feeds across 1,000 worlds filled with footage of human ships disabling enemy warships, of Earth's defense grid flaring with impossible energies. The Dominion Collective called desperately for reinforcements. Only a handful of ships answered. Most had not expected the campaign to last even a day. As they approached, they found the system sealed tight. Human fleets and automated sentry platforms tracked every move. Zexai, aboard the captured Dominion's Fist, was brought before Admiral Chun and Captain Reyes. Chun's face was calm, but her eyes blazed with fury and resolve. Why didn't you run? Zexai asked bitterly. You could have destroyed us all. Chun folded her hands. We defend. We don't conquer. We know what it means to be outnumbered, outgunned, left for dead. We know suffering. We choose not to inflict it if we don't have to. In a gesture that shocked the galaxy, humans offered Dominion survivors a choice peaceful internment and medical care, or return to their own worlds if they swore not to fight again. Many chose peace, amazed by the offer, but the galaxy's wounds were deep. Collective worlds, long used to Dominion rule, suddenly faced new dangers, rogue machines, unleashed by the fighting, resource shortages, and the threat of civil war. Messages poured into Earth and her allies. Pleas for help, for food, for technology, for protection. Some in the human fleet argued for vengeance, or at least isolation. Earth had been alone for decades. Why should they save anyone else? But Chun, Reyes, and even Zexai, now humbled, urged compassion. They called us Deathworlders. Reyes said, because they feared what we'd become, let's show them what we really are. The plea for salvation as chaos spread, worlds across the collective begged for human aid. Planets on the fringe were threatened by resource shortages and the same rogue machines that had once served the invaders. Famine, riots, and fear rippled through the stars. On Earth and the Allied stations, a heated debate unfolded. Many, still, remembering decades of exile, argued that the galaxy should fend for itself. Why save those who turn their backs on us? Asked one counselor. But Admiral Chun gathered the alliance of exiles, a coalition of humans and their alien friends. On the Archangel's main deck, she spoke not of vengeance but of purpose. We survived because we worked together. We built something better in the dark, when no one believed in us. If we turn away now, we become like those who once exiled us. But if we answer the call, we set a new standard, not of hope. Reyes added, let's lead. Let's teach them to stand on their own. But never let them forget who saved them. The decision was made. Humanity would intervene, but on their terms. They would help rebuild, distribute food and medical tech, and defend worlds under threat. In return, those worlds would join a new alliance, one based not on conquest, but on partnership and mutual respect. Across the galaxy, as Deathworlder fleets fanned out, billions watched in awe. Humans brought not only weapons, but engineers, teachers, and doctors saving lives and winning hearts. Even Zexai, once humanity's enemy, pledged his own knowledge and soldiers to the cause. We are stronger together, he told his people. Follow their example or be left behind. The return of the Deathworlders, with their fleets moving like swift shadows, the Deathworlders arrived in system after system. Where machines threatened, human hackers disabled them. Where famine raged, convoys of food and seeds arrived. Where pirates struck, human-led patrols chased them down everywhere they went. The story spread. The forgotten exiles, once called monsters, now saved the very people who had abandoned them. On the bridge of the Archangel, Admiral Chun gazed out at a swirling nebula, the signs of peace spreading through a once fractured galaxy. "We are not conquerors," she said quietly. "We are guardians." Reyes smiled, and teachers, and, when needed, fighters. As the last Dominion warlords signed a treaty of peace and unity, Earth and its allies formed the new League of Worlds. No longer forgotten, no longer feared, humanity led by example, championing the weak, guiding the lost and inspiring a galaxy to hope again. By Saxa, now an ally. Not a rival stood beside Chun and Reyes as new worlds joined their alliance. In this new age, Deathworlders were no longer a threat, but a promise that no matter how dark the void, someone would always answer the call for help. And so humanity's legend was reborn, not in war, but in the saving of worlds.